You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Yo, 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 what up, though? Rebels, welcome back to another episode of DSR2 live from Studio 57 in Detroit. We got NHL playoffs. We have some come from behind type NBA playoffs to get into, I might say. And you know what? Baseball can't get out of its own way, even if it tried. We're going to try really hard to get out of our own way, and we're going to open up the text lines. We're going to get up in this thing, and all of that's probably wishful thinking, but you know, welcome to the debacle that is DSR2. So without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for another edition of DSR2 on this most glorious of Wednesdays here. Not too hot, not too cold. Just picture perfect blue sky, no humidity, just perfect out there. Too bad I had to freaking work today instead of going golfing there. I'll tell you that much right now. We got here lots there to talk about. As we said, we got NBA playoffs going on there as well. NHL conference finals are going on there right now. Also, we got MLB because they can't get the help with what they're doing out there. Plus, there's again, the ever-ending, non-ending story of what's going down there in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan.
I told you last week it's going to get ugly.
It's going to get ugly, and we'll get into that on here because, there are trolls are out there now in force, and you know what? I've had enough of them as well already off the bat. So let's get started, man.
The troll population on the internet has pretty much taken over. It doesn't matter what you're into, right? Like if you go onto the internet and you like to be part of groups or social media or anything like that, you are going to find trolls. If you read articles online and get into the comment section or get involved in that, you are going to find trolls. It doesn't matter if it's political news, regular news, sports news, entertainment news. It doesn't matter what it is. It's everything. Even if you just want to talk about the sandwich you ate yesterday, there's always a troll waiting and lurking around the corner, a keyboard warrior, if you will. And it's translated to real life, right? Because we've spent a whole year and a half away from each other and stuck in this fake world of internet connection. That's, and social media connection and using Zoom for meetings and all these types of things and working from. And now we think that false bravado that people develop behind the keyboard, they're now taking that to the streets.
Right.
Guess where I'm from?
The streets.
You don't bring that shit to the streets, mofo. Bring that to the streets. We'll find out how quickly teeth digest.
They don't.
Exactly.
I will curb stomp you
dude.
Edward Norton did in American History X.
What's that movie with Michael Douglas or whatever? And he gets off of work and he's done falling. That's every day. I totally get it now. That movie that's me coming home from work every day. Get out of my way, all of you. Yes. I am done. So So I feel everybody's stress and anxious and pain and anxieties and all that stuff. But, all joking aside, that's what this is about. We come here for a couple hours to goof and get around and welcome the trolls. I don't care. Text lines available for you, Trolly Trolls. If you want to get in on the Trolly Troll things, you can do it there as well. I don't care. I'm not scared. But I really want you guys to steer the ship, have some fun with this show. It is your show. 313-307-5340 is how you get a hold of us. We're on social media, Studio 57 Radio across the board. Also, studio57radio.com. Hit the Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Comment, whatever, share, get it out there. Anything, interaction helps us. So we appreciate you. But Yeah, Moose. There's no shortage of trolls in any walk of life. It feels like, and like I said, it's seeping from the keyboard to the streets, and I'm over it as much as anybody. But bring it here. We'll have fun with it. You know how I am with these goofy. How many over the years? Because we've been doing this for a lot of years. How many times over the years have we had people bring some text trying to bring the heat and just had I don't know, had a little scrappy retaliation or a little moose annihilation.
It's happened pretty. It hasn't happened a lot, but again, when it does happen, it happens. Plus, we also encourage listener on listener crime.
Those were always the best. Those are always the best. We should really push the YouTube channel and go on there more because you could do that kind of thing in there, I think, more. But when we had our own interactive chat room that we used prior, that was kind of closed down and people felt safe there. You know, randos weren't coming on there. It was all listeners. It wasn't people that just so. Yeah, they were all up on each other, man. You guys were great. It was so fun. But now everybody's so hypersensitive. Like that was the roast culture.
Yes.
That roast culture is gone right now. Like you can't.
Unfortunately,
you can't tease anybody about anything too far. And so many people don't know where the line is anymore that you know, comedy can't even be funny, it feels like. So that's why we get shunned, Moose, because we just say it and do it and whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why the people that come here like us.
Again, it takes a lot to offend me. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
go on the roast culture. Yeah, I'm all for it.
I love the roast culture. I miss it. Like you know, when I grew up, it was like if I'm not teasing you, I don't like you. Like it was that simple.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's different now, I guess, but it just feels like it's, you know, like I said, people are they're just not willing to. Yeah, but we will. So yeah, trolls, welcome, and listener on listener crime, of course, welcome.
Yep. So we got lots going on there. We got quite a bit. We got 3 coaching vacancies in the NBA. Boston. The Pelicans, they are basically going a different way after 1 year of Stan Van Gundy. Oh, really?
Yeah, right. Greetings, Canada.
What the hell were you thinking about hiring him to begin with? I mean, dude.
Yeah, well, it's funny because like all the Pistons groups and stuff that I'm involved in, they all have everybody
told you.
They're all like, duh. And it's like we've all known this for how long now? It's just.
And now Washington's moving from Scott Brooks. They're going on there. Again, one person we don't have to worry about going to any of them is Juwan Howard. Pretty to say this.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving.
Dude, what did I tell you? What did we say on the show?
Yeah.
What did we say on the show? I said there's only one thing he can't get rid of by going to the NBA, and that's that gnarly stain he's got on his career. The only one.
Right.
He cannot fix that in the NBA.
Yeah.
The only place he can fix it is where he's at right now. So in this point in time in history, the only time in history he's going to be able to fix the one wrong that he left, there's no way he's walking away from that before he at least gives it a shot.
Right.
And so I don't think 1 year's giving it a shot, not in the pandemic year. And so to me, he was going, and that was happening. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay here till. And you know what? If he gets really, really close, and he just feels like it's daunting, and he can't get it done or whatever, at least he tried.
Right.
I just don't feel him running back to the NBA without.
Right, because he's only been here 2 years.
Right.
And we've seen what he can do.
Right. 1 year in a pandemic year.
And he's finally getting the class he wants coming in.
And to me, he was super self-aware based on the coaching staff that he brought in.
Oh, yeah.
To us. So he's very self-aware of like his shortcomings, what he needs help with, what he needs to work on, all those kinds of things, what he's good at. And he brought in the right people to help him and put together a really, really good staff. And it's like you just don't get all of those things together. And this early in his coaching career, let's do it. Like he's going to have, if he's successful, he's going to have all kinds of NBA teams knocking down his door because there's 3 openings now. There's going to be 15 openings later. I mean, the NBA is more and more turning into the NFL model where, you know, it's results based. You've got X amount of years or you're gone.
Right.
And, you know, and you, my friend, won't be a retread.
No.
So whenever you're done doing your thing in college, you'll be the hot new guy.
Right.
So he doesn't have to do it now. He actually, to be honest, even all that other stuff aside, it doesn't necessarily behoove him to go to the pinnacle now, because then what? Maybe you develop a legacy here, and then you develop a legacy in the NBA as well, and then you can be like a Larry Brown type guy where you've got both as part of your legacy. And so why would you not strive for that when you're so on the cusp of getting something done so early in your coaching career? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, there's just, you could talk about, money, and you could talk about, the ultimate level and getting there, dude. But those opportunities aren't. The NBA isn't going anywhere. They're making more money than ever, regardless of turnout, regardless of ratings. These TV contracts are obscene, and the merchandising is obscene.
Yes. So
they're making money. So like, the NBA isn't going anywhere. Whatever you think of Silver, he's those. You saw the last jackass that ran the NBA. If you couldn't run, it's not going anywhere. Is my point. There's a business model there that will stay successful for well longer than Juwan Howard will be alive. He will be able to go to the NBA.
Yes. Of the two sports, they probably had the best back-to-back commissioners out there, because you had Stern there for 30 years and basically brought us from...
Well, it sure ain't fucking baseball.
Oh, God, no. I mean, Stern brought us from tape delays for NBA finals to look what he done.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to take away what Stern did.
And then you see when Adam Silver's probably a little bit more progressive on the social aspect and with it.
Sure.
But you look what they were doing on there. Again,
I think, what he is? Everybody says he's more progressive and this and that and the other thing. I think
he's just a little bit more aware of especially with the players and everything out there.
I call it right person for the right era, for the right time, right? Yeah. We always talk about... we always try to compare eras, and we get into that. We talk about it here, Moose. You can't compare eras. And so for the era to which Stern, oversaw the NBA, he was the right guy for that time.
Right.
There was some bullshit aside, with some ref scandals and things aside. But and there was some stuff. It wasn't squeaky clean, but and people didn't always like him and the firm hand, but the times were changing. He had to go.
Right.
And I think the NBA, where MLB has totally missed the mark, is they found a guy that fits the times, the players, the personnel, the people that are making your engine go. You need to have a voice, a person that understands. So the NFL needs that guy, right? They thought Goodell was that guy, but he's obviously so wildly out of touch with how to handle things and deal with, because he's the translator, right? The owners and the league itself doesn't know how to talk to folks. That's just never going to happen. So as a commissioner, you're kind of like the mediator between them and the players. And so you're the translator for both sides to make sure that everybody can work together. And I think, some cats just can't do that. No. And then certain guys work for certain times. And I think Stern was he was done with his time. And if he tried to continue doing what he did before now, it wouldn't work.
No.
And that's
just regressed on there.
Right.
And you get Silver, who was basically brought in.
And it's like a relay race, right? He grabs the baton and runs with it.
He was the heir apparent. Right. He was basically the deputy and everything. And he cut his teeth, and now it's like okay, here you go.
Right.
You're in the lead now. You take it.
Yep.
And it's the perfect opportunity with it. And people are going to gripe about, well, what about China? Dude, that's their country. I mean, what are you going to tell on there? I mean, it's
right.
As bad as we feel about certain things on there, again, they're run by a dictator, and essentially on there, whether it's...
my whole thing is, like, when you walk around your house, I want you to take everything that's made in China and get rid of it. If that's your problem, right? That they do business with China with all that stuff going on. Because all that stuff that's made in China, that's you doing business with China. Whether you want to, however you want to sugarcoat it, it's you doing business with China. So take all the shit that's in your house that's made in China and get rid of it.
Right.
And tell me what you got left.
Yeah. And your new car and everything too, because there are parts of that. So unless you're driving a '66 El Camino, it ain't happening.
Right. So to me, it's selective outrage. Yeah. Right. It's only outrageous when you need an excuse to not like something. You know, like I don't like the social activism of the players and them using their thing, you know, their platform like that. I don't like it because it makes me uncomfortable because I think it's something different because I'm a racist idiot or whatever.
Right.
And so now I will use this bullshit excuse as to why I don't like, you know what I'm saying, to cover up for the fact that the real reason why I don't like it.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
And we know the real reason why they don't like it. But the problem
that's all this is to
they
me.
don't like the social activism. And we've been saying that for years under because again, you didn't see squat from Jordan. He never spoke out about anything.
Right. Well, and to me, you know what's so funny is how it's flipped. Why is it that people used to get mad that you don't take opportunities that you have to speak out against things that you've seen?
These
and you
are
know
the same
right.
cats that griped about that, and now when they're on the 180 of basically, why are you speaking? I don't want to hear about that.
Yep. Shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
That shit blows me away.
I bring that up all the time where you got so you had nothing to say about during the 60s when everybody was socially active on there, politically active and social conscious.
Right.
When you had, again, Jim Brown and Muhammad Ali and Bill Russell and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Juan Carlos and everybody else is speaking out on there. But you didn't have an issue with that because you were young.
Right.
Now you're old, and you're basically you turn into your parents.
Yeah, yeah, like the
and
stupid commercials, right?
You're the grumpy old man. It's like, dude, we griped about it for 40 freaking years.
Right.
Why aren't they speaking out? Now they're speaking out.
Right.
Well, they shouldn't do that. Why? Why shouldn't they?
Right.
They're speaking in their opinion because they're speaking from their own personal, basic experiences. Growing up and everything.
Well, the whole thing cracks me.
It does affect them. It affects basically society.
Well, what cracks me up is if there's nothing to this, then it will go away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's literally nothing to it, then people expose themselves as idiots.
Right.
And so there's obviously something to this, and it needs to be spoken upon. And you, on your little Twitter sphere or in your little fucking trailer down on the south end of Warren or whatever, y'all fucking, that ain't getting it done, dude. No. You can bitch in your living room. That ain't getting it done.
One thing I'm bitching about is why can't the Pistons get a cool damn alternate jersey like everybody else?
Dude, that's my thing, Moose. I got nothing to bitch about, so that's what I got to come up. First world problems, baby. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we parsing here? I mean, it's so crazy, dude.
I mean, come on. Phoenix's, the Valley, man, those are dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Utah jersey with the black, and now they changed the color scheme. It's just honor. The Atlanta MLK.
The Motor City ones are shit.
Yes. I mean, you got the MLK ones at Atlanta. I mean, I'm digging some of these.
Oh, dude, they're nice.
Why can't we get something? Dude, you can come out with some sweet ass color combo and just go Motown.
I would love something. Motown would be great. I put some music notes on the banner down the side here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'd hook that son of a bitch up. You know how they have those side panels?
And basically, it's got to be in a script. Motown.
Yes. Oh, and I would totally. I'd have the two panels down the side, and they'd be different color than the front and the back, and then I'd put like some music notes down the panels, and I'd play the Motown gig like a mofo. And you know, we're no from Motor City, but let's rock the Motown as an alternate. That would be so dope. That's a great idea, Moose. Like
copyright DSR2.
Yeah, copyright Studio 57. What is this? June 16th,
if the Pistons are listening and they come up with it, all we want is a couple free jerseys.
Dude, we just want ones with our name on it and be able to like get a little
Scrappy and Moose.
Yeah, Scrappy and Moose on the back. A little bit of check it out, and we'll promote it and all that. We just want to witness the greatness.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm with you, Moose. Like, to me, that's all. Everybody's sweating all this other stuff, and it's like things that are out of your control. I rather just sit back and have a little fun. And I get it; it's crazy times. But if you do and make good decisions, you can minimize the craziness. Now, we can't say the same thing about Mr. Chris Paul. I don't want to shame anybody, but like, you can't make bad decisions and do stupid things if you're not like vaccinated. Now you put what is isn't he playing for his legacy here?
Yeah.
And so he's kind of got doesn't he have a reputation for shitting the bed in the playoffs and not being able to carry the team like he was expected to or touted to or kind of even portrays in his own way and so like now he kind of, in my opinion, he let his team down. Like now the conversation is he went into the crowd after one of the games because some family was out in there, and now we're only assuming that he has COVID because if he was in protocols, they would test him, they would test him, they would test him, they would test him, like,
Yes.
and then he would play. They wouldn't say he's done. If he had enough tests, then he would play.
He's out at least till Saturday.
Right. And so that
And
means
then
to
maybe
me that means to me he came up positive with
Came
COVID.
up positive. He didn't get the vaccine, and there it is.
And you know what? I get it.
And they'll choose, why are you pulling him out? It's all BS. No, it's not.
It's not. No, you can't take the chance
Ask
to do
that to
it.
Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
If it's a hoax.
Yeah, right.
While
Well,
he's taking inhalers every day.
Well, and we've been through all this already, too. I mean, like, we've been through all this for the last 18 months. I ain't trying to hear that. And look, I'm not trying to ride people to get a vaccine they're not comfortable with getting. But if you don't get the vaccine, then you have to make better decisions than to go out into a crowd full of people when there's still a pandemic going on that you're not comfortable with being vaccinated against. And so I'm not knocking him for not wanting the shot. Like, I think it's stupid. I've gotten the shot. My whole family's vaccinated. Like, I think it's dumb. I mean, I know the science behind it, so like I don't get people's lack of understanding. But that's me and my arrogance. So I don't project that onto other people. Like, if you're not comfortable with it, you have your reasons. I'm not here to change your fucking mind. I'm just here to tell you, don't make stupid decisions. Be smart. Understand what's going on around you, and then don't. And now what? What if they get bounced?
Right.
I mean,
there's a good chance they're going to lose the next two.
I mean, didn't they sweep out? Who swept?
They swept Denver.
Yeah, so they get a little. I mean, but that doesn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that helped with the injury stuff. But you're not gonna. I don't know. Like you said, they could easily lose these games without him, and then he may not get another chance to redeem that. And I just think when that was the chip that was on his shoulder going into this, that he would have been more sensible.
Right.
I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is his legacy. Because if he wins, then he goes down as again a top. Could be conceivably a top 5 point guard of all time. Sure,
yeah. That's what he's looking forward to. And until then, he's kind of always going to be that guy that kind of was like, eh.
But then you get like if they would do win under there are going to be those cons like, oh, well, you see, he's the best point guard of all time. Dude, there's a guy called Magic Johnson there.
Well, my whole thing is if they win these games while he's gone, then what's that even do? What does that even say about what his play? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that even say? So it changes the conversation completely. And so I think when you're trying to have this conversation, it's whatever. Let's see. Canada Mike says he comes here for therapy. He thinks the Raptors' alternate jersey is shit, and no one shits the bed in the playoffs more than the Maple Leafs. So there you go.
Well, yeah, we know that.
Yep.
And again,
the Captain Obvious, Canada Mike out here. No, I'm just fucking with you, brother.
They got the Stanley Cup golf bag. That's what John the Maple Leaf.
Yeah, I saw that. That's so
sorry, Canada Mike. I so had to share that.
That was great. Yeah, I seen you put that out there on our shit. Oh, that was funny.
We got a listener, friend, buddy of mine, Billy, who basically just, and of course he had to like it and share it because he's a Habs fan. So he liked it.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. They had their own version of the sweep there. Oh, jeez. Anyway, so we're a little watch it with us, guys. We got a couple of games going.
Yeah, Kawhi's out with an ACL injury. They haven't said if it's torn or not, but he's definitely out for at least this round, and who knows how far. Kyrie's out for a while there with the ankle sprain.
Right.
Harden's not 100%.
No, he did, and you could tell, and we'll get into that here in a minute. We'll watch it with us. Philly's up 11 points here on Atlanta in Game 5.
This has been a pretty good series. I mean,
yeah,
we'll see on here. Atlanta came back big the other night on there because, again, MB was just gassed.
Well, you know what I'm seeing early on here is that they're shooting cold right now. They just missing some layups, and I don't know. You know, sometimes I can come back in the second half. Sometimes you fall farther in the hole. But yeah, see, they're just shooting bad shot selection. Like, they're not spreading the floor. Those kinds of things, you know, they can be adjusted in halftime. But right now, Philly's got to take advantage of it. Ooh, nice block. That's the first bit of defense I think I've seen all playoffs long. And a brick. A brick from 3 feet.
Jesus.
I mean, what the hell?
Frickin'
What the hell? We got a little baseball on just for the hell of it. Boston and Atlanta. Boston's up 2-0 in the third. So, yeah, hanging out, dual screen action, whatever you guys want to talk about. Yeah, some.
So
yes.
on there. So Lillard and Draymond said they are going to play for Team USA in the Olympics.
Oh, good. I mean, Draymond. I could take her or leave. You know, I like Draymond, but I'm all about some Lillard.
Dame's gonna be shooting like from 3-point land. Who's gonna guard Dame?
Nobody got. I mean, the Olympics.
Luka's gonna play for the Slovakian team. So
and that's another conversation we could probably have tonight. Moose is what's up with Luka. They're getting rid. Aren't they getting rid of the GM or something like that?
GM is gone after 24 years.
Yeah. So, like, what's Luka gonna do? That dude has basically been tied to Luka since he was 14 years old.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do now that is Luka gonna stay? Is he gonna sign that supermax somewhere else? Is he want to sign and trade? Like, is he happy with what you got going on? There's rumors that he doesn't like some of the people at the top of this company.
You can come here.
Dude, come on now.
We get Cade Cunningham and Luka. Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, I don't know how you would ever entice a guy like that. I don't know how you give a rookie supermax whatever deal to whatever it is. Oh, he's on the rookie deal. I don't know how you give a supermax here in Detroit. I've just never seen it. But yeah, whoever does land him it's gonna change the scope of the NBA because, to me, it will. He's going to irregardless, right? Because either they're going to make drastic changes, which I think they would do. I would think that Mark Cuban would be like, who don't you like? Oh, that guy, and that guy. Okay, all y'all grab your shit and get out. Like, you have a once-in-a-generational kind of player.
Cuban's not going to – basically, he's like, listen, I did whatever I had to make sure Dirk was happy his entire career.
Right.
I'll do the same thing to keep you happy.
And Dirk brought him a championship, and Luka can do the same. So I really think that it's one of those things where – you get rid of whoever he wants, and then you build around him, and then that team becomes relevant again, and you're vying for championships. Or he goes somewhere else and they do the same damn thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They put people around him, and he's happy, and they effing win championships. So like he's gonna win championships, or at least be in contention wherever he goes, whatever they do, whatever team it is. I just hope Dallas isn't stupid enough to let this guy go.
I don't think.
I mean, whatever it takes.
Of all the owners on there, I would say is Cuban's probably the one owner that's like, no, he's not going to let him go. He's going to do whatever he's got to make sure he's happy.
Definitely feels like the most progressive and the most willing to spend money and the most willing to take risks and the most willing to just be more real. And he's obviously a fan. He's not as fanboy as Ballmer.
No.
But he's more,
He was when he first came out. He was a fanboy.
Sure.
And then he basically matured into the role in it. But yeah, when he basically bought the team, he made sure the visiting locker room was off the chain too. Yeah, right. We're going to make sure that they got the sweetest ass towels, freaking terry cloth ropes. You want to steal a rope? Fine, steal a rope. But remember when your contract's up, where you got that rope from.
Right.
He wanted to basically entice guys out there, and he got himself the championship with it. But yeah, he's matured as he's gotten older and everything with it. But I think, again, he's still progressive enough with it. But I think, again, he's smart enough, too, to basically make sure that he's going to keep his guy happy.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is his basically second best player he's had on the entire team. His
entire tenure. And could potentially be the best player.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Dirk, but this dude could not only be the best European player ever hit the league, but maybe one of the top 2 or 3 players at his position.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yes.
So, like I said, it's a once in a generational talent, and you just don't pass those by. Like, if you had a guy like that come to Detroit, he's not going anywhere. The problem with Detroit is we don't build around them well.
We don't have
we kind of waste them. So, and we're not in a position to do that. But like, I just can't imagine, the Shark Tank guy not effing taking care of business. I mean, I know it sounds kind of trivial to break it down like that, but sometimes I just, it's like there's just no way. So we'll see how that plays out, but I don't see how he goes anywhere, and I like it. Like you said, we're talking about Lillard, we're talking about these other guys, and I like that thanks Beer Can Dad. I know you're being a smug ass when you say, why aren't we covering LeBron James tweets on the playoffs? And it's like, well, he's fucking with us because we don't want to talk about LeBron anymore, and we're happy to not have him in the playoffs. And I get you, Beer Can, but that's my point. Like, I love it. Now we're talking about Luka. Now we're talking about Lillard, and those guys aren't even in the playoffs.
Right.
And we're talking about what happened with Durant, and maybe that's what we should get into next.
Yes.
Because that was an outstanding play. You know what? I'm mad. He missed a couple free throws in that game, and if I'm him, I'm mad because you could add a 50 burger in a playoff game.
50 triple-double burger.
Right. He had 17 and 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
17 rebounds, 10 assists. Nobody's done, I think it was like 45, 15, and 10. So nobody's done it in a playoff game or something
49.
like that. Yeah, and he put up 49. So in 17. So yeah. I think it's one of those, and people are talking about, now because once again, we're talking about legacies here, right? And we talked about it with Chris Paul. We'll talk about it with Durant a little bit. He's got that stigma of needing to go to a team, right? That was the whole thing. Can he take a team and can he carry a team on his own? Well, now is the perfect chance to carry a team on his own. Did he do that? Everybody's like, yeah, he did it, and they did it. Dude, I'm not taking anything away from his performance. He did a great job. He did carry the team in that particular situation. But let's be real about it. You need to win on the road.
Right.
And that team, no one's won on the road yet, and you're going to get your chance because Kyrie's not going to be back anytime soon, and Harden doesn't play any defense anyway, but he's just that much worse right now with that hammy. And I just don't. You can only use him as a decoy for so long, and they didn't double. They treated Harden. They treated it like Harden or Kyrie was out there, and they didn't double Durant when they should have, and that's gonna change. They're gonna watch the goddamn tape. It's gonna change, and they're gonna switch, and they're gonna double, and they're gonna do all kinds of give him different looks because it's only him, and even if Harden's on the floor. Are you worried about until Harden starts burning me on a regular? I ain't worried about him.
No.
And he sure ain't playing defense. You know what I'm going to do on the defensive end to make sure he doesn't go after me on the offensive end? I'm going to run him hard.
Right.
I'm going to take my best player and push him on Harden. And Harden's going to be forced to play defense. And by the fucking halftime, that hammy's going to be on fire.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working that hammy. And so he ain't playing. And this is going to be a Durant game. And you're going to have to, and they're going to double, and you're going to have to win a game on the road, on your own, when they're scheming for just you. And that is the legacy that he's trying. That's the thing he's trying to get. He's going to get his chance. He just hasn't done it yet.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And again, on the court, he's he's a gifted athlete. He's
one of the best players in the game, if not
he is the biggest mismatch offensively that anybody could ever face.
Absolutely.
Because he can play post and
Sure.
shoot outside.
Sure.
Problem is off the court. He's a petulant baby with the burner phone accounts and everything. What else on there?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have that on it. But on the court there, he's a killer. And again, he's such a mismatch offensive-wise on there.
Right.
His defense is not great, but it doesn't get enough credit for basic because is he the best on there? No, but he's a pretty good. He's better than what people think he is defensive-wise.
And the whole thing about defense is it's relative. Right? Because like the defense they played in the 80s and 90s is not the defense that's played now.
Oh, no.
And so relative to his peers in this era of basketball, he's a solid defender.
Yes.
So that's kind of what it boils down to. Like I said, I am not knocking anything about his game. I've got nothing to knock. All I'm saying is, from a fan base standpoint, pump your brakes a minute. I want him to do this on the road. I want him to do this when it's him, you're on the road, and it matters. He's going to get his chance. He had a great game.
You know, if he has a similar game on Game 6 on the road, then dude,
yes, win, lose, or draw.
If he puts up 40 and
bam,
12
that's
and
what
10,
I'm saying.
a triple double, when he puts up a performance like that, then there it is.
That's what it is.
The best player on the planet.
Right. Well, it's not even about that, because I still believe that he can be that. I think it's about that stigma that he wants to get rid of as part of his legacy. We're talking about legacy. We're not talking about on the court play. I can't. There's nothing I can knock on the court play.
No,
this is not.
It is the legacy on there.
Zero to do with that.
Of his career now.
Yeah. And this is something that he created.
Right.
This is not something that we created. This is something that he is obviously frustrated. The media always puts that out there and has to have a story. That's what we do. That's the talking points. That's what's fun about this. That's what gets people engaged. But the idea that you have to, once again, you talked about his burner accounts and all that stuff, because he's so hypersensitive to what everybody's saying, when all it is talking points for content to draw up interest in the sport you fucking play. And so you can't, that is a stigma that you yourself want to shed. We here will talk about whatever we talk about. Whatever happens happens, and it shouldn't matter to you, but it does to him.
Yes.
So that is why this is a thing right now. That's why we talk about it here on this show, because we know it is a thing for Durant. He's made it very clear with his actions and how he deals with social media, with fans, with mainstream media, when things go well, when things aren't going so well, like all of that stuff. Once again, none of this is about on the court play. This is all about the stigma that kind of goes along with it. Is he trying to shake that? Can he shake that with his on the court play? That's exactly it. That's exactly what he has to do. That's the only way he can, because he can't help himself when he gets in front of one of these.
Right. And again, almost you got the inverse of that on there. You've got, unfortunately, his Kawhi's out with the ACL injury and that. But again, if the way he was playing on there, and if the Clippers got to the finals, and if they would have won it, he wins for 3 different teams. And again, when the spotlight's and again, he doesn't say 2 words, period. He doesn't say boo. I mean, he's got that weird laugh, and that's about it.
Right.
But when it matters the most, is like he just takes over a game.
Right. And
he did it with San Antonio. They won.
Right.
He did it with Toronto. I mean, dude, he hits that shot on there, and basically they keep going, and he gets to the finals, and he just took it over.
Well, and that's the thing. His play kept him out of that narrative.
Right.
And Durant, his play can keep him out of a certain narrative, but when Kawhi went to Toronto, okay, so Kawhi got, he was brought into San Antonio, and he was part of a thing, and he got to be a part of that, and he won. When he went to Toronto, he wasn't viewed as going to an already great team to just basically steal championships. Durant made that decision. It's the same thing with LeBron. When LeBron set the standard to be the GOAT, dude, that you can't be mad that that's the conversation, that's the fodder, that's the level, that's the standard that we set you to. And then when you come up short, be mad at everybody else for it. It's the same kind of thing. And I can't knock either one of those guys' play on the court.
No.
But when you set a certain standard with your mouth, then your play has got to back that up.
Right. And
that's kind of the situation here. So
LeBron basically said it on there because, again, the whole when he did that with he won, got to the finals with Cleveland, and again he got that team under. That team was, other than him, was the first run on there.
Sure,
was garbage.
Right.
They weren't good.
No, not at all.
He was basically, that was it. He willed that team to get to the finals on there. And
he'll get more credit. He'll get credit from everybody on that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think he built his legacy on that.
Yeah.
Going forward, he chipped away at it.
Well,
he chipped away at it with all the bad decisions he made.
Big chunk that came off was that, again, and not that he went to Miami, it was just how he went to Miami.
Yeah, how he did all that stuff.
The press, basically the special on there.
Well, look, dude, I ain't even knocking that. You know why? Because that Boys and Girls Club never seen so much money.
Oh, yeah.
So for what he did there, to me, I ain't even mad at it. I ain't even mad at it. When you sit back and look at it, he did the right thing. He went to his community and he gave them money.
Right.
Millions
of dollars. He's done a lot.
So no. So it isn't about the fucking special. It's about the fucking Chiquita Banana Boat or whatever the hell they were fucking doing, where they all got together and they all decided that they're gonna start doing this super team shit. And then he went with a couple of those guys and did exactly that. That's in you. So you created that,
and then the whole thing coming out on the court. We're going to win 7 championships in a row, and then they end up winning 2. And that was about it.
Right, exactly. Once again, your mouth set the standard.
Right, your mouth wrote a check your ass can't cash.
Right, and you know what? We would have never expected you to cash that check, but you wrote it.
Right,
not us.
Yeah, we didn't write it.
Yeah, you did. So that's the thing with it, and that's what happened with Durant, in my opinion. In a different kind of way, right? He had to have the burner accounts. He's hypersensitive about all this stuff. And if he just played ball and didn't care, it wouldn't be a topic. It wouldn't be an issue. But he's created this. So now his play on the fucking court is got to cash that fucking check.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. And he's got a chance to continue. But guess what? He's only got 90% of that money in the till, and I'm on my way to the bank. So he better, that shit better clear. And I think to clear that check, I want to see him win on the playoffs. I want him to carry that team without any, and just win a game, or at least be the reason that they could have won that game. And willed, like we talk about, an Allen Iverson who took a Sixers team who had no business being in the finals, or LeBron with that Cleveland team. Do something like that, even where you just, even if you don't get it done, you obviously, if you had any inkling of anything around you, you would have gotten it done, and you couldn't do it all. You know what I'm saying? And then shut your mouth afterwards.
Right.
And then you can get rid of that stink. But you created all that. So now, yeah, I get it. I love that the media is like, kissing his ass now, because now he'll be all positive and happy and fat and sassy. But I think maybe a chip on his shoulder is better, and he balled out in that game.
Embiid's already got 20 points in the first half.
Yeah, they're up big. They're up 21. I told you these guys are just not hitting anything. They're bricking free throws and missing layups and doinking off the front of the rim on 3-foot floaters and with nobody in front of them. And it's oogly. It's not ugly. It's oogly. It's oogly. So it's bowling shoe ugly.
Ball wins Rookie of the Year, which, yeah,
I ain't mad at you.
No,
sure.
I mean, again,
yeah, no,
I'm not.
I'm not a huge ball fan, but he's been playing well.
He's the best of the brothers.
Yep. Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, I would have said him or Anthony Edwards, but sure. I mean, the Hornets got to the playoffs, and
right,
Minnesota didn't.
And there it is.
They're gonna again waste Minnesota's going to waste another damn good talent.
Yeah, Minnesota's such a train wreck. That's all they do.
That's all they do is waste talent.
Well, that's like the Lions here, right?
Yeah.
That's all we do. We get Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, Matt Stafford. We just waste them all. It don't matter.
Right.
Give me your best players. We'll destroy them for you.
What the?
A long, slow, painful, poison type death. No problem. We're good at that here. Yes. So yeah, that's Milwaukee is that's the NBA version over there. Not Milwaukee, but Minnesota.
Milwaukee. I mean, again, they're wasting Giannis on it.
Well, some of that's on Giannis too, though.
Because again, he's missing layups.
To me,
he's got to develop an outside shot.
Okay. I get it that the game has changed. Hand check the defense is like that, but to me, to take that next step to get over the hump, you have to have a certain grit and a certain kind of a killer instinct, and it's got to be so evident and so obvious that it strikes fear in the opponent, like that they look at you and go, you know what, even with him injured, even with a guy out, I don't like the look in his eye right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel uncomfortable. This guy's going to fuck us up. And that's what, the greats have. And I think people are looking for Giannis to have that when that just really isn't part of who he is at the moment. But like we always talk about the killer instinct and how Kobe was an ice cold killer and all these guys.
Us here growing up in Detroit, the Pistons was Zeke.
Zeke, oh dude,
Zeke was ice cold killer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Silent
playing
assassin.
on basically a busted ankle, and he lights him up for 26 in the third quarter.
Everybody thinks Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn set the tone for the bad boys, dude. But y'all got it twisted, man.
It was
Zeke and Laimbeer, but no, it was Zeke. Yeah. Let's not get it twisted. But so yeah, it's and so I just think there is a level of that, right? There's a grit, there's a grime, there's a edginess, there's a killer instinct, there's something there that intangible, and it's just a little droplet sometimes, and I just feel like I'm not seeing it in Giannis. I don't know the guy, and it's just this is hyperbole, and maybe even so much, for conversation's sake, but to me, it feels like there's just that little bit missing. And as soon as he finds that, whatever it is for him, because everybody's different, right? Kawhi is quiet and gets it done, right? We talked about Zeke, and he was always the silent assassin, and he did all those look up and don't,
smile.
Yeah, and all the smiley, happy.
I'm gonna stab you in the back.
Yeah, and he's just a murderer, man. Yeah, the smiling assassin. Yeah. So
Kawhi's kind of gone. Basically, he learned from the example was from Timmy. I mean, again. Don't say two words, but
Timmy was like that too.
Timmy was a stone cold killer when it had to be.
Yep. And so I just think he can. There's multiple ways to do that. So he doesn't have to be like this boisterous Kobe type. He could be whatever it is that he is. It's just I just don't feel like he's found it yet. And so, sometimes that comes with losing a lot, right? That's what it took for Jordan, right? He had to he was just a murderer's row in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, because he had Boston, Pistons, and Philly.
Right.
I mean, all three of them were really good.
Right.
I mean, for the honor, and he had to get through us.
Yep.
I mean, we had to get through Philly and Boston.
Right.
And when we did, we got to the top of the mountain. Then he had to get through Boston and then us.
Yeah.
To get to the top of the mountain. Of course, he had to change all the rules to get through us, but that's another story.
Well, and that's one of those things where it's the progression of the NBA. Every sport progresses. We've watched every single sport. I think baseball's the slowest to change.
Yes.
But if you look at baseball now, just in some of the little things, and you ask somebody from, the 50s and 60s era that watched a lot of ball then, they're going to be like, ooh, yeah, no, this is not the same game, because we're doing analytics and we're doing long ball and we're doing a whole F ton of strikeouts. You're not playing full innings as a pitcher. You got bullpens, 20 guys deep. It's just it's ridiculous. You've got there's so many things that's different about baseball. Like they showed 4 highlights and every single one of them had a bat flip.
Yeah.
You couldn't flip a bat 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
Oh, you tried doing that in the 60s? Next time you're at bat, it's come one right in your ear.
Right. And so every single hit I see, a guy's flipping the bat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like the game that you watched before, it's not the same as it is. Not the same thing. Hockey, right? The contact, not the same. They got rid of the 2-line pass bullshit and opened up the game, right? And so it is a change. They went from no helmets and crazy barely gear, and look what they're wearing now. Look what we know now. Look at the size of the athletes and the speed and the strength of the athletes across the board now. Look at the NFL and the pads and the technology with the helmets and everything else. And look at that you played a 12-game season, you ran the ball, you played power football. Now it's wide open down the field. You can't touch nobody, you can't hit nobody, no headshots, nothing. You can't touch the quarterback. Like how much our favorite game in this country has changed more than any of them.
Yes.
So when people start talking about changing the rules and doing this and that, like we talked about being old fuddy-duddies, talking about traveling and shit while we were watching the game and all the Euro step and da-da-da-da-da-da, it's the evolution of the sport. And so, like, if it's going to thrive, if it's going to survive, let alone thrive, you got to have, some kind of progression, right? Because the next generation is not going to necessarily see it the way you see it and play it the way you play it. And that's why you see. And then, once again, the the size and speed and strength of these players, the athleticism of these people now from back then, and what we also know about health, injury, recovery, concussions, all those kinds of things is come leaps and bounds, and so we make different decisions based on that, and that's going to be the evolution. So I get the whole changing the rules to beat us kind of thing, but like then I could counter that argument with, well, if the Pistons were that good, they'd be able to adapt. But unfortunately, the roster fell apart, so it wasn't really a
Guys
thing.
got old.
Yeah.
Zeke blew out his Achilles, and that was that.
Well, once Zeke was done, that was pretty much
that
was kind of the end of it. And then you were losing key cogs here and there, regardless of what do you want to believe. Both Pistons championship teams in my lifetime, both those teams were deep.
Yes.
Both those teams went 8, 9, 10 guys deep to win a championship. So where you don't see them get past 6, or 7 anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're starting 5, and maybe a couple other guys are getting rotated in there because everybody's a utility player. So, but that's the change. That's part of the evolution. So, I get it. Once again, that's why comparing eras you just really can't do. I look at what I like about the sport and what criteria that I look for. And eye test is a big part of that, and killer instinct and the way you handle the situations in your era, and take advantage of those or not. And so that's the closest you can to kind of comparing that stuff. So, but Philly is putting it on Atlanta with a minute 14 to go. They're up 60-36. Atlanta, Boston. Boston's got a 4-1 lead. I'm sorry, yeah, Atlanta, Philly. Yeah, baseball game, yeah. So you got the baseball game, Boston, Atlanta, the Sox, and the Braves. So yeah, I don't know what the Hawks are gonna do against Philly here, but they're going to need a significant amount of halftime adjustments, and I don't know if you could do that. I don't know if there's an adjustment that can make you stop missing layups and short shots.
Pull out a gun and shoot Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to go like last Boy Scout on his ass. I mean, I don't know what else you're going to do. Oh, that's messed up. Oh, shoot. So, all right. We got some NHL action. We can get into MLB. There's plenty of football stuff we can chat on.
We can get into that. There's some also news in the NFL on there. We'll get into that on the flip side. And again, Aaron Rodgers still not showing up.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't need him until game time.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. He's got to come back. How do you not bring this guy back?
And yeah, we'll get into the NHL. Again, also today, 23 years ago, the Wings swept the Washington Capitals for their second Stanley Cup in a row.
Oh, yay. I like that.
Yep.
Canada Mike, maybe not so much, but I don't know. No.
Yay. We went 42 years without winning one, damn it. So
he might be
we went 4-12. I mean, so what?
Ooh, on the elbow. Ooh, pitch on the elbow. Pitch on the elbow. Ow, ow, ow. Time for a recovery break. We'll see.
He's got body armor.
It still hurt.
It hurts, but come on, it's body armor.
It still hurts. He's taking a base.
All right, we'll get back on all this and a lot more here. We're DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
people? This is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. The listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air, and now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about All. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's a lodge service drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you love and life, you need to be in the club.
Taking over this broadcast on Underground.
You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the ultimate underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say, infamous venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the ultimate underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next ultimate underground may web cast of some of the hottest artists in the deep. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mac, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390 or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey, Rebels, we are back for another hour in the debacle of this show we call DSR2. Oh, man, I hope you guys are enjoying sports. Halftime of the Sixers-Hawks game. Not looking good for the Hawks there in Game 5. But the Atlanta Braves come back on the Red Sox here. It is a 4-3 lead by Boston, just barely here as we are in the top of the 5th inning. So a little couple dual action, watch it with us type scenarios. I think we might switch over to some NHL hockey. We're definitely going to do that on the conversation. And if you guys are in the central Michigan area, you got to get over to IWE. And we'll talk a little bit more about that show coming up this Saturday. But let's get into this thing. So without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here's Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we are back here for the second hour of DSR2 on this most glorious of Wednesdays. It was actually perfect weather outside. I'll take this every day of the week. I want this every day of the year on your 365. On your, again, call me greedy or whatever. I don't fucking care.
You rotten son of a bitch. You want fair weather.
I want San Diego weather here without having to pay the price to live in San Diego.
You rotten son of a bitch. How dare you want a nice, beautiful environment around you at all times, you son of a bitch. You evil fucker, you. You are not fit for this earth. Evil! Anyway, I'm the devil. What are we talking about here?
In case you missed it, we talked a lot about the NBA on there as we're going on there. Atlanta just can't hit a basket on there. Again, as they always say, is he couldn't hit fucking water even if he fell out of a boat.
I mean, it's rough, man. I don't know what to say. We're obviously doing the show, so I'm not watching every single possession, but
it's been
well, every time I look over, they're doinking stuff short and missing layups and free throws, and it's like, yuck. Yeah. So, hopefully that turns around, or that game is going to be a wash here in the second half. Maybe that's the game I change. Maybe I keep the baseball game on as we get over to NHL.
We got the hockey Was it? Yeah, that's that. No,
No.
that's later.
Oh, okay.
It starts right now at 9:00.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, lots going on here. On there, we got NHL action going on there now. With it, we got Islanders and Lightning are tied 1-1.
Nice.
Barry Trotz wasn't happy about some of the missed plays on there, so he's bitching up a storm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Knights Canadians on there. Vegas is up 1-0, but that game starts. The second game starts today at and right now. Just started 8 minutes ago on NBC Sports Network. So
So we got a couple of hockey games going on.
we got a couple games on there. This is the conference finals, and again, when they get to on there, is Montreal is able to travel back and forth. Now to and from on there, same thing with Vegas. They can go to and from on there to Canada on there. So again, I don't think what the NHL does not want to happen is Montreal and the Islanders. Well, actually, they wouldn't mind the Islanders because it is New York. But again, I would love to see the Islanders and the Canadians in the finals. It's a throwback to 40 plus years ago.
Right.
Of my youth.
Yes.
Where I said, "Oh my God, this is great on there." But yeah, I wouldn't mind. Again, actually, I don't mind any of the teams winning on there. I think Tampa is really. I think Tampa and Vegas are probably the best two teams left.
All right.
But again, I just throw back on there. I would love to see the Canadians and the Islanders. I mean, both teams have not done well recently on there. Islanders have actually turned a corner. They've been playing pretty good the last couple of years. Canadians have not won a Stanley Cup since 1993. Islanders haven't won it since 1983.
Jeez.
But again, the Islanders did win 4 in a row then. So, but yeah, I mean, it's fun to see. And again, we got the draft. We'll see what happens there. They're talking about 3 or 4 kids out of the University of Michigan getting drafted in the first couple rounds there, possibly the first pick overall in the draft. We'll see what happens there, but it's fun to see.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm going through all these crazy games that are on. It's like, holy cow, there's a lot of sports on right now.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And this tomorrow we got the U.S. Open starting up on there on Torrey Pines, so that's golf. It's Father's Day. That's one thing I always know.
But I mean, if you're a sports nut, like it's all right now, right? You got hockey, basketball, baseball, tennis, golf. I mean, you get combat sports.
Mini camps on there.
Yeah, you got football mini camps. I mean, like there's just so much stuff. I mean, if you're into all this soccer and cricket and all that crap, if you're into all that stuff, dude, it's all out there for you to be consumed. I mean, it's amazing.
And again, the hockey is on. I mean, yesterday's game was really good there to watch on there with it. I mean, Tampa ended up, come back and tying that series up on it. But it's been, I mean, the last round of the playoffs were outstanding, stellar. They were great to watch, fun to watch, and everything with it. So, again, I'd love to see if it keeps going on there as well. So,
yeah, the once again, NHL just absolutely killed. Look at that stadium. Look at that rocket. This is the Habs and the. In Vegas.
That's at Vegas. So.
I mean, look at that. When's the last time we saw that, Luis? That looked like the old days right there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at that.
But the production value, what Vegas can do for on there is
it's
second to none.
Look at that. Look at this. I love that. That is like the absolute opposite of
Fortress. That's what they're calling their on it. It's great,
dude. That is so epic. If the Joe was half of that, or Little Caesars Arena was half of that,
yes,
I mean, it'd be amazing right now. I just,
you got that going on there. The guys that can grow beards. I mean, there's just the sheer. Basically the history and the basic things going on there. You got your playoff beards. Nobody shaves their beards on there if you can grow one until after you're out of the playoffs and that. So, as we said, 23 years ago, Wings won their second Stanley Cup in a row against the Washington Capitals. Swept them. course, the year before they swept the Flyers. So,
Yeah.
and then when they won in 02, they beat the Canes in 5. So their first 3 Stanley Cups, they lost 1 game. The finals. So, our hardest thing was getting by Colorado. But yeah, it's great to watch that. So
It is. I only see. For some reason, I'm only getting 1 game here. Trying to find the other game. What channel's the other game on? You said Lightning was on?
No, that was tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay. So I got to go back to the basketball game. I was like, wait a minute. Whoa. I went flying.
What? The Bruce Lee channel? What?
Yes, I have a 24/7 Bruce Lee channel, and I posted some ninja shit on my personal profile. This guy's got like this silver, like, I don't know, it's a giant bullet for lack of a better term, and he basically does all the scorpion shit from like Mortal Kombat, but it's on a rope. And he'll spin this thing around, and he'll like whip it around his head, his arms, his shoulders, his legs, or whatever. And then he'll take like a weird twist of the body, and it'll launch off of him, and he'll just take out anything he wants of this thing. It's crazy, and then he'll hold the end of it and pull it back. And he was like taking cans off of like fence posts and shit, like randomly in places. He threw a full like pop can up in the air, and he like swung it around his head, around his arms, his waist. He spun around a couple times, and then like wrapped it around his leg, and then went like this with his leg to like kick it in the air, and it just came off his leg and went up and popped that can before it hit the ground. Like all kinds of ninja shit. I was like, whoa, this guy's badass. And he started taking out watermelons with this fucking thing. I was like, oh my god, that would be your dome. That would hurt.
Yes.
I like that stuff, so that's why I have the Bruce Lee and the favorites, because of course he is the mecca of
Bruce Lee's not
ninja
dead. He's
shit.
just frozen in a missile in the deep south.
There you go. I'd take that.
You're gonna thaw him out when he wants to.
Yes.
And he'll be pissed.
I'd be mad.
You ever take a cold shower? Imagine that 10,000 times. But yeah, it's we'll get into that. But yeah, we'll get hopefully. I'd like to see Montreal be able to hopefully tie this up, get this into a good long series, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
On it. I want 7-game series no matter what.
The Habs fans travel. Look at them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we see them here, but we're a little bit closer proximity.
Because they're like, oh my god, I get to go see hockey live.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's off the. Oh, I really Usher. Yeah, I'm getting pumped for Usher.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey. Man, I guess, but when I go to a hockey game, do I think Usher?
No.
I'm like, I mean, I don't
If it
know.
was Toronto, we would have seen Drake.
You know what? You see Drake at like little kids games now. He like goes to his kids games and gets all stupid like that there. It's like going to little Pee Wee basketball games. Everybody's like, "Who's Usher?" Oh, just kidding. No, this is Vegas. If it was in Canada, would it be Usher?
No.
I don't think it would be Usher either.
Especially
Would it be
in
Michael?
Montreal.
It'd be like Michael Bolton or something.
No, what do you mean Michael Bolton?
I'm just kidding.
Isn't he from like Cleveland or something?
I don't know.
Michael Bublé.
It's gonna be Nickelback.
No,
Celine
not
Dion.
Montreal. They would be Celine Dion. They would not have Nickelback in Montreal. But the French speaking Canadians, man, are not going to have Nickelback. They beat the hell out of Nickelback.
No, that's too funny. As we just totally,
So
we just got canceled, I think, for that.
Nickelback.
Yeah. Putting a particular individual as a hockey labeling any kind of individual hockey or not hockey fan. So now we're in trouble.
So we got that going on there on an NFL. Let's see here is good news is Greg Olson's son, 8-year-old son, went home after his heart transplant. So that's great news.
Yeah, that's good. Positive.
Hopefully,
stuff.
has a healthy recovery and has a long, healthy life, man. That's great news to hear about that.
That stuff's so scary, man. So, I mean, when you're talking about kids, it's even scarier. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, My niece had to have open heart surgery at like in single digits, younger, like barely like single hand digits, and it's it's one thing to be a grown adult and have to deal with that, but to see a little one, and it's so yeah, thank goodness everything went well, and yay, medical science, it's amazing.
Yes. Science.
Yes.
On there, and then we also got Vince Woolfolk is probably going to beat the shit out of his kid.
Oh my God.
DeAndre Holmes Woolfolk, age 23, stole 2 of Vince's Super Bowl rings and other jewelry and sold them.
I would beat
including his 2001 Miami Hurricane National Championship ring on top of his Super Bowl rings. Boy, somebody's going to get it. Deserves an ass beaten.
You know what? It's too late for that. It's too late for that, Mr. Wilfork. You should have beat his ass earlier. That shit would have never happened. You should have beat his ass when he, stole the $5 out of your wife's purse.
Yeah. His baby mama, because he was only 16 when the kid was born.
Well, whatever. Well, yeah.
Somebody should have beat it. That kid should have been getting his ass beat.
He should have got his ass beat. What are we talking about here? He had a kid at 16. He should have got his ass beat. What are we missing here?
But yeah, I mean,
shit. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. What the hell?
2 Super Bowl rings,
I'd be so
2
mad.
AFC Championship rings, and his national championship ring.
I would pummel this man into the ground. I would drive him in like.
It would be hard for Vince because Vince is a big man.
I'd drive him into the ground like a steak at a campsite. I'd just be like, bink, bink. There'd be nothing left but his head sticking out of the dirt.
$300,000 worth of jewelry.
Oh my gosh. So Moose.
You better just hope, you know what? Just stay in jail because you get out, I'm going to kill you.
Moose. I was just saying, Moose.
I'll post bail. No, I don't want him to post bail. Just let me stay here in jail.
Moose, I got 300,000. Would you kill somebody? I got somebody in mind. I got 300,000. Would you do it?
We off the air.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me. You need to mute that hot mic there. Because like that feels like we talk about a reason to go, right? Like if you say the wrong thing, you call somebody out, you mess with their family, their money, you spit on somebody, whatever, those are all reasons to go. 300,000 reasons to smoke a fool. Yeah, I'm not saying it's right,
but I understand. Vince, if you need somebody to get rid of a body, I know people.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
You need a body to disappear? I know how to do it.
Oh shoot.
Allegedly.
Too funny. I just does the article say if he recovered any of that stuff?
Police made contact with the individual who posted the rings on a memorabilia group. The individual told police he purchased them from Woolfolk's son for $62,000. On there, the rings have been turned over to police, so they have recovered it. But
$62,000 is all he got,
and they're worth $300. Because the guy knew. Oh yeah, are they stolen? No.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, if it's Woolfolk's kid, then I guess you could take an assumption that like he's just, they are his, but like he shouldn't be selling them, but he did anyway. But then you can't go turn around and flip them then if you know that.
Right.
So I don't know. There's got to be a certain kind of element of like, first off, are these real? And then once you kind of feel that they've been authenticated, like, are you supposed to be selling these?
Does your dad know you're selling
right,
these?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
or you just don't. I'm not going to ask, and I don't want to know.
Yeah, and in that case, I would think you would sit on them longer.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Post them on there for right away.
Right. So I don't know.
Gee, here they are on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, to me as a collector, because I'm a collector of things, and I don't buy them to flip them per se, but they're an investment, and if at somewhere down the road I need to cash in, I can. But it's about the collection, it's about the hunt, it's about enjoying it, and all that stuff. And then if you're smart about it, then you got a little something if you need it. And so as a collector, I would have bought those suckers, and they'd have been locked up in a safe somewhere, and they wouldn't have gone nowhere till I needed to put a kid through college, or I was dead, or whatever. And so, I don't know. It's weird to just. I don't get. I know there's a ton of people that do it. They just buy it to flip it, but I always found that to be a little weird for me.
Even though if his kid coming in, I would be kind of questioning. Maybe I need to call Vince. Are you aware?
Well, like I said, that's what I said. I kind of put a little bit on him on that point. The buyer, like I said, I don't know if it's just or not, but yeah, I mean, like, okay, first off, are these real? Okay, yeah, I think they're real because I've confirmed who you are, and so I'm pretty sure these are the legit. Now, the next question is, are you supposed to be selling these things?
Right.
How did you get them? Why do you have them? Why would you sell them to me at this low price?
Does your father know you're selling?
Yeah.
Did your father okay you to sell this stuff?
Especially at such a low price when you could get more for the raw material.
Right. Well, you could basically put them up on auction yourself and generate
Sure.
more money than
Right. Like
what you're asking me for.
Right. So why are you coming to me? So like all those things would be what I would want to know.
But then again, are we talking about memorabilia guys out there kind of being shady? No.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about every and all hobby. It is dirty, it's grimy, and it is shitty. If you got a guy out there that like middleman stuff and does a lot of stuff, he's probably pretty shady.
Yes.
He's probably does some pretty shitty things, and he's probably has and or is going to burn somebody, and that could be you. That is without a shadow. Like in the belt collecting hobby, there's like 3 douchebags that manipulate all the groups, lie to everybody, do a bunch of shady fucking shit, and everybody's too dumb to see through it.
Right.
And so that's what happens in these groups, and that's where he sold. He went to these groups, and I'm in some memorabilia groups, and the guys that have been around and collecting whatever hobby they're into, whether it be sports memorabilia or even fucking stamps, it doesn't matter. If you've been in the hobby for a while, you know how dirty it is.
Canadians scored.
Oh, they did 1-0. They know how dirty it is. They know who the players are and how, and they just it's like it's a battle. It's not even worth fighting because it's like having a piece of bubble gum to fix 400 holes in a dam. Like you're screwed. Like you can't plug enough holes to make it. So, so they just don't. They just stay out. They just do their thing. And so yeah, like you said, someone in sports memorabilia collecting and or trading, selling is shady. No. It's like that in every hobby though. Like I said, I don't care if you're collecting stamps. I'm in all the championship belts, and there's like 3 to 5 douchebags that kind of they dictate everything because they run all the groups and they put their own narrative out there, and then people buy in because they believe them because there's nobody else to kind of refute what they're saying, and the few people they do, they just they turn into the keyboard warriors, and that's what happens, and all this stuff doesn't matter. Like I said, I see it a lot. It's super thick. Like the championship belt collecting community is the worst, but I see it, and I'm into sports memorabilia stuff. I'm into wrestling memorabilia stuff, and I'm in groups for like just rare oddities, like goofy weird shit. And so like yeah, and then so I'm in a bunch of different groups like of all those different kinds of stuff, and it happens in all of them. It's all grimy, and in sports memorabilia has been notorious for how long? Because of the whole fake autograph thing, and I mean, God, that's been going on since fucking sports existed, right?
Since sports memorabilia has been around, there's always been shitty. I mean, come on. The Hannes Wagner baseball card was the most valuable on there.
Right.
On it was out a pack of cigarettes. He didn't smoke.
Oh, right.
And he says, no, I don't want my picture
right.
associated with smoking on it. So, I mean, there's that whole aspect with it on there. But, yeah, I mean, you look on there, anything memorabilia-wise, whether it's any aspect, wrestling belts or sports memorabilia or entertainment memorabilia, it's always been shady.
Yeah, it's when there's someone to be taken advantage of, there's someone that will take the advantage. So, and that's what happens when it's just too hard to know. And people like that stuff. I mean, and especially now it's super thick because with the last 18 months of the pandemic, it's been a worldwide thing that people that are still working and doing things are using their expendable cash for like collecting stuff, whatever it is, whether you're into electronics and games and playing around, because there's nothing else to do,
right? I mean,
so whatever you're into, I've seen a huge uptick in everything as far as collecting goes in all the groups that I'm in. I see an explosion of those groups, more and more of those groups being around, and then just really in a tangible day-to-day life thing, I hear more and more stuff. So my brother-in-law, I'm a Deadpool fan, and he fucked around and got me that Deadpool way over there on the side, and now I got fucking 25 of them goddamn fucking pops, those Funkos. And so, and because they're cool, they're neat, and I always find another one that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I got like Run DMC and Tupac up there, and I got old school Macho Man. I got some cool ones. I got like Stan Lee and stuff like that up there, and a couple different Deadpools, and there's some, it's neat, and that's what I kind of do. I've been doing, like, it's all right. So I'm just nosing around, and I don't need one, but I got a couple of bucks that I can spend, and I don't have nothing to do, and it gives you a little smile. So I nickel and dime. I find a good deal on something, I'll buy it, whatever. So I'm in a place, and I don't want to promote somebody that's not sponsoring us, so I won't give the name of the establishment. But the guy there was super friendly and asking, and I was looking at the Pops thing, and he goes like this. He goes, oh, you collect? And we're having a conversation. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, my brother-in-law got me one, and now I'm an addict. Like I have a problem. I need to go to meetings. And he goes, nobody gets on Funkos on their own. Everybody has that dealer that gets them on Funkos first. Here's a little one. You can have this one for free, and then now you're buying them. He says, he goes, there's not. People come in there all the time to buy them, and he says, 90% of everybody says the same thing. Somebody got them one, and now they collect.
Well, I got
because that's a question he asked. Yeah. How'd you get into collecting? And I'm like, I didn't really get into collecting. I got one I thought my brother-in-law got me one because I'm a Deadpool fan. He got me this cool little Deadpool. I thought it was neat. I put him up in my little thing, and then I was like, oh. And then I seen a couple more that I thought were neat, and off to the races.
Yeah, I mean, again, I got my daughter because I got her a Batman one because she likes Jessica likes Batman and Alice and Superman, so I each got them one for stocking stuffer on her. And of course, Jessica's like, oh, and then she started getting a couple more. Now she's got them at her mom's, and she's like, oh, and I said, well, yeah, and she goes, what about Comic-Con? I said, well, yeah, I would love to go to San Diego, but we can't afford it. And I go, well, Motor City's coming back on this fall. And she goes, can you get Funkos there? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's like the mother. Oh, we need to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, and of course, there's a little pat. I'm like, oh, she is my child.
So here, I'm a total geek, and I'll put it out there for a smaller business. But there's one called Spastic Collectibles, and I'm a total pop nerd right now with these things, and you can order them before they come out, and then they'll just give them to you right fresh off the Funko truck. And then they got all kinds of deals and stuff like that. And then they do like giveaways, and they'll do these other ones where they do drops where they got super rare ones. And then they'll have like 100 of these rare ones that you can't get anywhere. And then you'll get advanced pictures of like how they look in their boxes, and everything's pristine. How collectors are about stuff and all that. So like, now, granted, I don't spend a lot of money there because I'm not that hardcore into it, but it is super neat to see all the stuff that's out there. And yeah, do whatever you do. Don't let your daughter hear this episode, because she's going to go there and blow her wad, because they literally have like anything and everything. That's where I'll go when I can't find something. Like if everybody else is out of stock and I think something's going to be hot and I want to grab it now, and it's out of stock everywhere, that place will end up having it. I try to go for the exclusive ones.
Yeah, well, between that and now she's discovering like Air Jordans.
Oh, yeah, dude, shoe collectors, sneaker collector dudes are even worse than all of them.
Even the repos of old school stuff, she likes the old school style on there, and I'm going, seriously, child.
awesome.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, look at these. I know they're new, but they're on there. But look, they look like the Jordans from like '93. Look at this. I'm looking really. It's got to be the shoes."
Dude, they got fucking $30,000 Jordans out there,
I
man.
know.
It's crazy.
She saw that, and I was like, she's got these ones that are like kind of a neon green with the black on there. I'm like, going, oh my, she loves her. I mean, it's the Jordans, it's the Chucks, and it's the Vans. So she's all into that.
The one thing about that is if she's getting into that, it's at least she's not. And same thing with a lot of other stuff.
She gets stuff like that she wears. She wants
Sure.
something. She's not. She'll just say, "Oh yeah, I can get this on there," and she'll go buy it. But
Well, it's one of those things too where you're dealing with less of a black market bootleg type scenario, and so there's a lot of hobbies out there. Like if you're looking for Jordans, you're not gonna get a whole lot of fake Jordans.
Right.
But when you're looking for memorabilia,
you're gonna get fake.
there's a whole shit ton of fake stuff out there.
She's all
You know
into
what I'm
that
saying?
weird,
So-
funky stuff on her, and
So
I
at
think
least
I
that's
think
the
it's
one good thing about what she's
and
into.
I look
yeah.
on her, and I think it's just hysterical on her because
Right.
her sister could. She looks at her like, "What? She's from Mars."
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, just let it go.
Well, and that's how it goes, right? You get one you get opposites.
One is basically all about basically popular, and the other one doesn't care.
Right.
She's like, I'll get what I like, and I'll
Yep.
wear what I like.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yep. That's the way my girls were. I had two girls right around the same age, and they're basically polar opposites.
Yeah.
They lived in the same house and the same rules and the same stuff and did the same things, and they were just polar opposites.
It's exactly what it is.
And I don't know if it's a girl thing or if it's like that with boys. It doesn't seem to be like that with boys. I'm an only child in that respect. I don't have a brother, so I don't know. But it seems like that with my friends. It doesn't seem like it's like that. But everybody that has girls within a year of each other or two at most, all seem to say the same
I was
kind
the
of
only
thing.
son on there, but even the guys I ran with a very eclectic group on there. I mean, I was like, I'm super geeky on the sports, but I like super geeky on memorabilia, basically movies, and I used comic books and
Sure.
I
Well,
did
that's
the
what
role
we- yeah.
playing and all that DNA.
Yeah.
But I was like kind of I was like the gateway. I was basically the linchpin for both groups on there because
Well,
I was.
We were
either
all
way.
we called it we called ourselves the land of the misfit toys
Yes.
because none of us really fit in any kind of category.
Exactly.
But you could kind of
I could go
blend
any-
in with anyone.
Anybody
kind of thing.
on there,
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
I was the keystone on there for
So
everything.
we were all like that in high school. So my girl that I'm with now, she was one. Jimmy, who used to host this show, he was one. Myself and probably a dozen or so other kids, and then we all just hung together because we decided, as much as we have friends and all these different little cliques and groups and whatever, we only kind of truly understood each other,
right?
Because we all liked all different things, and we were all different even from each other, but because that we were all different from everybody else, we kind of came together and we're accepting of each other's differences. Where, remember, the rock guys couldn't hang out with the rap guys, and the burnouts couldn't hang out with the jocks and all this other. Nah.
Yeah, I could hang out with
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah, we
I
could-
fit in with anybody.
Yeah, anybody in our group could kind of do that too, for the most part. But that's what.
Update: Red Sox Braves tied 6-6.
Man, I should have put that game on instead of the basketball game because
Well, yeah, because that's 23 points now. So.
yeah, it's been floating around there since the end of this first half there.
So yeah, baseball on there now. They got the on there. They can check for substance,
Gooey
on there,
stuff.
gooey stuff.
Dude, okay, yeah, baseball sucks in this respect, dude. They're so stupid. Like, you knew this shit was going on, and you let it go. If you let it go this far, then why don't you just wait till the off season?
Yes.
Like, what?
Why are you doing it right now?
Why do we do it? You know what it is? Because it's so obvious, and it's so out there, and it's such a debacle that they forced their hand.
Yeah.
These pitchers are out. And guess what, guys? I ain't fucking hearing it. If you've been using a foreign substance and been relying on it so much that now that you don't have it, you're blowing out your fucking arm, you're a fucking bitch. Fuck you.
You're from
I don't care.
because they says they
I'm
started.
sorry.
Batting averages have gone up like 12 points in the last couple of weeks when they started checking.
Sure.
them. So it was like 236 was the average batting average. Now it's up to it was like 232. Now it's up to like 246 or something like that.
So I'm just,
Of course it is. I mean, but again, it's the same thing too as back in the day with the steroids. They all knew everybody was doing the steroids, but then you basically like, what?
Yeah, and until fucking Sosa and McGuire and all them guys' heads got bigger than the stadium itself, the doorways to get in the damn place, and they started jacking up homers at every time they touched
But they
the ball.
didn't care because people were going to the games. It was basically when Barry Bonds got it, it was so obvious because
That's what I'm saying. That when all these guys became so obvious, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, all those guys were so blatantly, obviously on steroids in cheating that they just forced their hand.
Yes.
Baseball, you are like the old crotchety, shitty old person who just says, if we ignore it, it didn't happen. Your daughter comes to you because she got raped. You ignore it because it didn't happen. Someone comes to you because they got, lynched because of their skin color, and you ignore it, because it can't. You don't want to. No, this is not how this fucking works. It's so archaic and stupid. Yeah. Baseball can't get out of its own way, dude. I'm telling you now. Before I die, baseball will be non-existent. It'll be a non-factor in American sports. It may not even be around. But in my lifetime, it will be a non-factor if they don't do something about this shit yesterday. This is a fucking joke.
Rob Manfred has got to be the worst commissioner in sports.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. And we're talking about all of sports. We're talking about the Olympic Committee. We're talking about NCAA.
I would just go to
I am. I am going there. You took America's pastime. You took a sport that's 100 years old, and you've driven it into the fucking ground. Get the fuck out of here. They made money hand over fist. How do they have the richest contracts in all of sports?
Yes.
And you're shitting this thing to bed. Come on, man.
Well, again, your average, fan base is in their 50s.
The Olympic Committee and NCAA are more corrupted by far.
But incompetent, yes, I'll give you that.
That's my point.
I'll give you that. I'll give you basically he's the most incompetent of all sports under. But yes, the IOC and FIFA and the NCAA are the most corrupt.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
On there, but yeah, you look on there, what's going on? It's just like, I know. Again, we see it happening there, but they can't get it. But baseball's had this notorious history of basically shitting the bed and doing stupid shit. Well, the first half of the century, they won't even allow African Americans to even play with the big leagues.
Right, and they know all this stuff, and they just turn a blind eye to it. They've done it forever on every aspect of everything, and it's never, ever changed. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And when you put this stuff out here on national television for everybody to consume so you can get all this money, and now people are like seeing you and calling you out on your bullshit, you can't just turn away and act like it didn't happen. You can't just say, oh, I don't know, that's not, nah, until it's so blatant that you have no choice but to address it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so disgusting. It's stupid. I'm done. I don't even care about fucking baseball at this point. And guess what? Nobody else does either. They only care about their team.
Right.
Nobody cares about baseball as a whole.
Yes.
We're all watching the NBA playoffs. We're all watching the NFL playoffs. We'll all watch the NFL playoffs. But when it comes to MLB playoffs, it's only the teams. It's only the regions.
It's a regional
Nobody
sport
else is fucking watching it.
Because if your team's not in it, or you're in an area that doesn't have an MLB team, you don't care.
The sport's not that good. Even if you have a team, if they're not
good,
they don't care.
Yeah.
If you're not full of all-stars and nobody cares. And even then the fan base only cares this much. Let's be real about it. How many times do you see sold out stadiums in a regular season in baseball? Other than key matchups, almost never.
It's only a key matchup. Really, even when the Tigers were good, we wouldn't sell out. Again, on there, but it would be a key matchup. You look on there from the year past, there was on there, even when on there, the Tiger, when I grew up in the 70s, Tigers are garbage. But there was a 1 year where, again, when a certain player was pitching, the place was sold out. It was must see. You basically, it's sold out, and if they were on TV, you watch them on TV, and you definitely turn in the radio. And again, it was Mark the Bird Fidrix. Basically, is when he pitched, time stopped.
Right.
I mean, it was
But-
games on there. I mean, Tiger Stadium would sell out, and they would have over 50,000 people when he was pitching. I mean, there was that Monday night game where he pitched a shutout against the Yankees, and guess what? That place was rocking, and everybody that wasn't at the game, of course, there's probably a million people that say, I was at the game. Oh, bullshit. The stadium only hold 50,000.
Well,
But we all listened on the TV and that. But
my
it's-
whole
it
thing
is
with
like
it
that.
is nobody. Yeah, but nobody even cares about that,
No.
Moose, because nobody wants to see pitching.
No.
Nobody-
I love a good pitching matchup.
I don't mind good pitching when it's really good pitching.
But it's got to be good pitching. It can't be like.
The problem is it's usually bad hitting, not good pitching.
Yes.
And then even when it's good pitching, I'm just bitter because even when it's good pitching, somebody's gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
The officials, the umpires, somebody's gonna mess it up. They always do.
Yeah, somebody was bringing out and it was a funky stat. It was a cool stat on there. Again, obviously, Nolan Ryan is number one with no hitters, 7 no hitters. He's also number one with 12 one-hit games.
Wow.
And again, too, Nolan Ryan is a freak of nature too because he actually pitched a 14-inning complete game through over 200 pitches.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Because you know why? He was Steve Austin. He really was. Again, you don't see the two together in the same ball. He was the bionic man. Steroids? I don't need any steroids. I got a big bionic arm.
Yeah, right.
Let's cut that arm on. I want to make sure it bleeds. Wait a second. What's these wires and gears and shit, servos and shit?
Too funny.
On there. But yeah, they don't know how to market their damn the sport and that. I mean, you've got guys out there like Ohtani should be based on everywhere. I don't care if he doesn't speak any English whatsoever.
Yeah.
A dude's second or third in the league in home runs, but he's also pitching on there as well. Fernando Tatis Jr., Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Again, you're seeing guys out there that are legacy because their fathers played and everything. But again, baseball is missing a boat because they're not in the inner cities and they're losing a whole generation of fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kids aren't playing. I mean, there are guys playing, but you don't see kids in the inner city playing.
All right.
I don't know. You don't see a PAL league or anything. It's all about, again, just like basketball, AAU. It's the same thing with travel ball.
Sure.
It's just basically it's the have and have nots. If you've got money, your kid's going to be playing a travel sport.
All right. Anyway, from one debacle to the other, the U of M thing. Dude. I don't even know what to say. Brand Standard needs to probably shut his fucking hole.
Everybody needs to shut their hole on here.
Did anybody learn anything from what?
Harbaugh?
I mean, what is going on here? It's one thing to put up the quote unquote blue wall and to kind of keep your mouth shut and to try to make things kind of go away by just trying to keep it as quiet as possible. But is another thing to poke the fucking bear. And that's what I feel like you do when you delegitimize or downplay the victims. And I hate to call them victims because, quite frankly, they're survivors. And I think that's a much stronger, more apropos word for the people that have been through such tragedy. But it's disgusting in every level. At this point in time, defending anybody involved in that situation in any way, shape, or form is so far out of bounds, so far out of touch, and so radically disgusting that you should probably, if you have a job in the public, be fired. If you have a platform to which you can spew shit, you should probably be cut off from that platform. I can't believe that that this is something that's that we're even having this conversation about after all that other shit. And you can say, oh, he's been dead for this long, and it's been...
Doesn't matter.
None of that shit matters, dude.
Because the
time stands still to
the
these
survivors
motherfuckers.
of this
Yeah.
aren't dead.
No.
They're still reliving this on this,
Yep.
and this is all brought about on it with it. And I've said it on there. I don't care who's involved with it. You need to get to the bottom of it. And again, if names need to come off buildings, so be it.
Yeah,
if a statue needs to be melted down, it's like, so be it. Trust me, I'm as Michigan as they come on there,
Right.
and
Yeah, this
I
is
want
horrible.
answers, and I want the truth to come out
Yeah.
with it. If it's Bo on there, again, because growing up, Bo was like a god to us.
Right.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
I want the truth to come out, and if it tarnishes someone's legacy, so be it.
Well, and
I want
and
the
to
truth
me,
out there with it.
To me, it doesn't tarnish a legacy. You create your own. So we talked about it earlier. We've been talking about legacy in sports all day today. And you created that. And this is your legacy if this is all true. And I can't sit here and say that it isn't. I have to, with all due evidence, I have to, what do I need? Videotape proof? I mean, if enough people come out and say this is what happened.
There's too many people come out. I mean, if you had one or two on it, and if
so
it was,
I don't care about any of that stuff.
I want the truth to be out there.
You cannot.
You need to move forward, and you need to take care of these people.
Absolutely, that goes without saying. But you cannot take a stance in a public forum and any kind of pushback with this stuff, even if these cats. Let's say it's one dude. Let's say it's bullshit. You still can't take this avenue. You can't. Not this topic. You cannot.
2-0.
Yep. Well, Montreal putting it on them. But you can't. I don't care. I don't care if it was one person claiming it and he's a filthy, dirty, rotten liar. You cannot come out against something when it's this magnitude. Just shut your mouth and at most say the facts will play out when they play out, and we'll deal with it at that time. And then when all the facts come out and it is what it is, you can say, well, there we go, and you keep it moving. But that's not what happens here. That's not how this thing works. And so all these cats have to scream from the rooftops and make all this stuff. Dude, what do you think got this thing rolling in the first place? Dude, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. When someone says they've been through an atrocity like this, it is not time to talk.
Right.
It is not time to talk, motherfucker. They didn't come to you for you to talk. It is time to listen. When someone says they've been a victim of an atrocity like this, there is no words to be said. It is time to listen.
Yes.
Talking is done. These cats ain't listening. They're running their mouth and they're tone deaf, and they need to shut up. And I don't know what to say. And you know what? My whole thing with tearing down the names off the buildings and stuff, do it, of course. The fact that we make statues of people cracks me the fuck up. Are we fucking stupid? How fucking dumb are you, dude? Last time I looked at a man, at any other fucking man, or any other fucking woman, or any other fucking human being on this fucking planet, they put on their fucking pants the same goddamn way I did. I don't give a fuck what they did for society, especially when it comes to fucking sport. Fuck statues of people. Why? For what? What did we do? Did you fucking cure cancer? That's the only fucking statue I want. When you fucking cure cancer, you get a statue. That is the standard. Not winning football games. Man, fuck your statue. Melt that shit down and make me a golden toilet seat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we that whole thing blows me away to begin with. The fact that we're taking down statues left and right because we're too fucking stupid to make an educated decision on whether someone is a good human being or not.
Right.
And why? Right now, I have a ban on fucking statues. There's no more statues of any human beings anywhere in the history of mankind unless you cure cancer or better.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can go.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, the philosophy blows me away. So the fact that we put cats on a pedestal pisses me off to begin with. So rip it all the fuck down. And anybody that has anything to say against it, y'all can suck a bag of dicks.
I mean, one thing is like the thinker net is all fictional. It's not real in that. So it was a statement of art. But as you said, putting a statue up for a guy, a football coach, and that,
right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about sculptures. I'm not talking about works of art that have nothing to do with fucking...
But sports statues now.
No, dude, a statue of anybody. JFK? I don't fucking care who it is. JFK banged everything with 2 legs. He had no fidelity. I mean, his wife was like a petri dish, probably. I mean, this guy was banging anything that fucking moved. And if you think any politician's on the up and up, I don't care who he is, you're out of your fucking rabbit. You're out your rabbit. So, no, we don't need a statue of him neither. As a matter of fact, while we're at it, blow up Mount Rushmore. I don't give a shit. I don't. And so people that stand up for a fucking statue of a pedophile or a guy who supported or condoned or knew or turned a blind eye or anything to any of that stuff, do you know how fucking dumb you are? That's even dumber than the idiots who made it in the fucking first place. There, rant over. Jesus Christ. What are we doing here?
But yeah, you've got the trolls out there. And again, as he said, John Vaughn today says, listen, I've got these cats following me around after speaking of that.
Right.
And they go to see on it with it. And it's like, there's too many people out there that spoke out for this that said they were, and again, we'll say they were survived, but they were a victim of Dr. Anderson and that.
Right.
And again, there's fire there. It's not smoke. There's actually an open flame there with it.
Right.
So you've got to take
And
these
these idiots are blowing on it.
I know.
And they're prominent people in media. How dumb do you look?
You're the head football coach, dude. All you have to say is, "Listen, I feel for the for the people out there on with it. I have nothing to say at this time on there. We're gonna let the university handle this and do their decision." That's all Harbaugh had to say.
Harbaugh is cosplaying as Bo for the last 7 years. Are you fucking kidding
First
me?
of all, Harbaugh should have been fired because again, he's a terrible coach in that for us. But this is again with it. He's not going to survive this, and again, it's going to come out there with it. And again, they're going to, they're calling for the attorney general on there, but it's going to be the same thing with Michigan State was. The university's not going to waive attorney-client privilege, and they're not going to get to the bottom of it. They should, but they're not going to admit to any wrongdoing. Why? Because it's going to cost them more money. Again, admit to it, move on, take care of those that were.
Yeah, I mean, you can't turn a blind eye, pretend like it didn't happen. Have all these people come out, the stigma will never go away.
Whether it's 800 or 1,000, it doesn't matter. Take care of these people.
What happens is
if it costs you $1.5 billion, so what, dude? You get $10 billion a year in freaking endowment every year.
To me, it's not even about that. That is obviously the right thing to do, but to me, it's not even about that. The financial thing is what it is. They print money, so it doesn't even.
But you need to acknowledge these people and basically apologize to everybody.
That's just the beginning. That is the very least that you can do. All of those things that we just, all the things that we said are the least that we can do. This needs to initiate change. We've talked about this way too many times. We talk about, all these different scandals, whether it be cheating in sports, all these different things that are obviously not nearly as serious as what we're dealing with here. And you know how prevalent it is. You know that when you see the tip of the iceberg, it's exactly that. It's just a very small portion of what's really going on. So the fact of the matter is that if it is happening in these major universities, and you think it's only happening in these handful of major universities,
then
you're absolutely delusional. This is a systemic, nationwide problem, and if you cannot handle these situations like this when we do have things come up and all that, then you're not addressing the situation. You're contributing to the problem, and it's only making things worse. You have to initiate change. Giving the survivors money, coming out and acknowledging what happened and all that stuff. That is the very, very least you can do.
That's the start.
That
step.
That is the very, very least that you can do. If you're not doing that, I don't know what to say. What you should be doing is all of that immediately, and then you should be spending all that time, effort, money, resources into making sure that there's a system in place that prevents this from happening at any university anywhere. And they should be teaming up with Penn State. They should be teaming up with Michigan State and other Big Ten schools. And then other conferences should be jumping on board and following suit. This should be an NCAA thing across the board. And it should be their pulpit of what they're going to do moving forward. The NFL used concussions and head trauma and all the things that went down with them as a pulpit moving forward for how they're going to make the sport better and what they're going to do and how they're going to improve things and how they're the reason why positive change is going to happen. And then all of a sudden you take a negative thing and turn it into a positive thing. It is very simple. Here's a story for you that tells you the same thing. I'm sure you might even have heard it recently in the news. A man has divorced, father of two, has 2 daughters, and owes child support payment, has one final payment to make on the 2 children. He puts 80,000 pennies in a trailer and drives it to the wife's house and dumps it in the front yard. Yeah. Sounds fucking funny. Sounds fucking great. Till you realize both your fucking kids that you haven't spoke to in 3 years watched you fucking do it.
Right. It shows you what kind of a tool you are.
You are a fucking tool. You are a total fucking douchebag. But negative can be turned into a positive. Daughters and mother gave that money to the Atlanta women's abuse place, right? So that women.
Isn't it amazing that the kids are more mature and adult than the father is?
Right, but that's what you have to do. You have to take something that's negative and shitty, and you have to be the reason that it is positive. You have to be the reason why it became something that is good. You don't need to be the dad. You need to be the daughter. You don't need to be the loser. You need to be the person who rises above it, and that's what Michigan is not doing. That's what the NCAA is not doing. Michigan State didn't do it. Penn State tried, but it just went nowhere. Like, they kind of did it on the surface. They did the least we can do, but they didn't take it to that next level. They did it on a PR level, but they didn't do it on a reality level.
Right. They did.
Dude, it's reality time.
Well, the same thing
and it has to happen. It has to happen now. It should have happened. The fact that we're having the same conversation now about Michigan that we did about Penn State those years ago, the fact that we're rehashing this over and over again is a testament to how disgusting it is and how people know and just don't care, and that you can easily do don't look at this hand over here, nothing to see here, look over here, and it can play that fucking game. And they continue to do it with our children, with our brothers, with our sisters, with our daughters, with our friends, with our aunts, with our uncles, with our loved ones. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. The NCAA is a fucking mafia, and if they can't get their own shit together, then us need to play the role of the feds, and they need to break that shit up.
Yep.
And we need to do whatever it takes to make this fucking happen. And there needs to be a systematic change across the board in all college athletics. This isn't just a Michigan thing, but Michigan needs to be made an example of if that's what it fucking takes. I don't care. If that's what it takes, that's what we got to do.
Like making it a stepping stone.
Yep. And we're Michigan guys. We love the team. We grew up with the team. We've been in the area. We love everything. And we don't know these things. Now that we're privy to this information, we know what's going on. We react appropriately. That's what rational people do. Let's be real. Let's be rational. Stop with this cult of personality, cult leader following things blindly when you know it's fucking wrong bullshit. This whole country's full of it, and I'm sick of it. It shouldn't. We come and get to sports to get away from all that stuff. We should not engulf the sporting world in that kind of stuff. And it's not us as fans, but people. And it's horrible. And us as fans and as rational humans, we got to be the ones that fix it. And that sucks, but it's our burden, and we need to take it seriously. And speaking of taking things seriously, man, whoop, whoop, whoop. We're going to seriously have a blast at IWE. So Loxley, on Loxley in Houghton Lake, the Artesia Youth Center, 19th, this Saturday, live IWE Gladiators, getting some stuff in. I'm going to be there hanging out. We'll be selling some belts, slinging some things, having some live entertainment. Guys, come see us. We want to see it. It'll be the first time we get your faces, and it'll be away from all the craziness. And I promise, no NCAA interference. Love you guys. Be good to each other.
Peace out, brothers.
See you next week. Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B.